Welcome to this in-depth exploration of the art and science of gardening in the shadows. For many, a shaded garden can feel like a daunting challenge. It is often viewed as a place where vibrant life seems out of reach, where the absence of direct sunlight means an absence of color and vigor. But for the seasoned gardener and the dedicated agriculture enthusiast, these cool, quiet corners offer a unique and precious microclimate. In this presentation, we will delve into 12 remarkable perennials that do not just survive in the shade, they truly thrive year after year. We will examine their unique biological characteristics, their specific soil and moisture requirements, and the professional maintenance tips for long-term success. Whether you are looking to revitalize a dark corner of your property or design a new woodland sanctuary, these plants are your most reliable allies. Our goal today is to provide you with the knowledge needed to transform your shaded spaces into lush, productive, and peaceful retreats. So, let us begin our journey through the 12 best perennials for shade that will bring beauty to your garden every single year. Our first perennial is the Hellebore, often known as the Lenten rose. These are the true pioneers of the early spring garden. Native to various regions across Europe and Asia, Hellebores are remarkably resilient, often blooming as early as February or March. Their foliage is just as impressive as their flowers, leathery evergreen leaves that provide structural interest and a deep green backdrop all year. You can find them in a stunning array of colors, from soft whites and dusty pinks to deep, dramatic slate purples and even vibrant lime greens. For the best results, plant them in well-drained soil that has been enriched with plenty of organic matter, such as leaf mold or compost. A professional secret for a healthy display is to prune back the old, tattered foliage from the previous year right before the new stalks emerge. Notably, hellebores are exceptionally deer and rabbit resistant because their leaves contain alkaloids that are unpalatable to most local wildlife. Once established, these plants are incredibly long-lived, often thriving in the same spot for decades with very little intervention required. Next, we move to the hosta, widely regarded as the queen of the shade. These plants are grown primarily for their magnificent foliage. Hostas range in size from the tiny blue mouse ears, which is only inches wide, to the massive Empress Wu, which can reach 4 feet tall. Their leaf colors are incredibly diverse, including chartreuse, deep blue-green, and various striking variegated patterns that can light up any dark corner. While they are very hardy, hostas are often targeted by slugs. Using organic slug bait or copper tape is a common practice to protect the leaves. They prefer consistent moisture. If the soil dries out completely, the leaf edges will turn brown and scorch during the peak of summer heat. Interestingly, blue-leaved hostas have a special waxy coating that gives them their color. Too much direct sun can melt this wax, turning the plant green. Hostas are also excellent for weed suppression. Their large, overlapping leaves create a dense canopy that shades out most competing plants. While grown for foliage, they also produce lovely flower spikes in summer that can attract pollinators like bees and hummingbirds to your garden. Number 3 on our list is coral bells, or heuchera. These plants offer a literal rainbow of foliage color for the shade gardener. From obsidian black and lime green to silver and amber, heucheras provide year-round color that very few other perennials can hope to match. In late spring and summer, they produce airy wands of tiny bell-shaped flowers that are known to attract hummingbirds from across the neighborhood. One challenge to watch for is heaving during winter freeze-thaw cycles, where the ice literally pushes the plant's crown out of the ground. To prevent this, apply a 2 to 3 inch layer of mulch in the fall, making sure you do not bury the central crown of the plant itself. For those of you in warmer, more humid climates, look specifically for the villosa hybrids, which are bred to handle intense heat and humidity. Heucheras also make fantastic container plants, adding a burst of color to shaded patios where traditional flowering plants might struggle to bloom. Their versatility and low maintenance requirements make them a favorite for modern landscape designers and home gardeners alike. Our fourth perennial is the bleeding heart, an old-fashioned favorite that brings a touch of classic romance to any shaded garden border. These plants produce arching stems laden with delicate heart-shaped flowers in shades of pink or pure white during the late spring months. It is crucial to understand that most varieties are ephemeral, meaning they will naturally go dormant and disappear as the summer heat rises. Because they leave a noticeable gap in the garden by July, it is best to plant them behind later emerging perennials like hostas or large ferns. If you prefer a plant with season-long foliage, consider the fringed varieties, which tend to stay green and attractive through the entire summer season. These plants are native to the cool forests of East Asia and North America, and they have been a staple of shade gardens for over a century. Their unique flower shape and graceful habit make them an essential choice for anyone looking to create a traditional or nostalgic garden feel. Despite their delicate appearance, they are quite hardy and will return faithfully each spring to announce the arrival of the warmer days ahead. Next on our list is Astilbe, also known as false spirea. These plants are famous for their tall, plume-like, and wonderfully feathery flowers. Astilbes add wonderful vertical interest and a soft, airy texture to the shade garden, with blooms available in striking shades of red, pink, and white. However, these are very thirsty plants. They will struggle in dry shade, and curled leaves are a clear warning sign of severe dehydration. One professional tip is to not cut back the dried flower heads in the fall. They provide excellent winter interest and look beautiful when frosted. Because they love moisture, they are the perfect choice for the edges of garden ponds or areas with naturally damp soil that other plants might dislike. Their foliage is also highly attractive, with a fern-like appearance that adds a delicate layer of green even when the plumes are not in bloom. There are many varieties available, from dwarf types that stay close to the ground to tall specimens that can reach up to 3 or 4 feet in height. Adding Astilbes to your shade garden ensures a burst of color and a soft architectural element that bridges the gap between low ground covers and taller shrubs. At number 6, we have the Japanese painted fern. This is arguably one of the most visually striking ferns you can plant in any shaded area. Unlike common green ferns, this variety features fronds of shimmering silvery gray with distinct burgundy or purple midribs, growing in a low mound. To bring out the best silver and burgundy colors, these ferns actually benefit from a small amount of filtered morning sun, which brightens their unique hues. They are slow spreaders and make excellent companion plants for hostas and heucheras, creating a tapestry of texture and color on the garden floor. Japanese painted ferns are also remarkably hardy, often surviving in temperatures as low as -30 degrees Fahrenheit in the winter months. They are easy to care for and can be divided every few years in early spring to create new plants for other shaded areas of your property. Their low-growing habit and unique color palette make them an ideal choice for softening the edges of paths or tucking into rocky crevices. For any gardener looking to move beyond basic green, the Japanese painted fern is a must-have for its metallic beauty and reliable performance. Number 7 is the Japanese forest grass. This slow-growing ornamental grass creates a beautiful cascading waterfall effect in shaded spaces. The Aureola variety is particularly popular for its bright yellow stripes, which can literally light up even the darkest corners of your garden. In the fall, the golden leaves often take on a stunning pink or reddish tint, providing one final burst of color before the plant dies back for winter. This grass is slow to establish, often taking 2 to 3 years to reach its full cascading potential, but the wait is well worth the effort. It thrives in moist, humus-rich soil and is one of the few ornamental grasses that genuinely prefers full shade to direct sunlight. Japanese forest grass is excellent for softening the edges of hard landscapes, such as stone paths, retaining walls, or formal garden stairs. Its bright color and unique texture provide a fantastic contrast to the broad, dark leaves of hostas, or the fine textures of woodland ferns. For a sophisticated and low-maintenance addition to your shade garden, Japanese forest grass is a top-tier choice that brings grace and light. Number 8 on our list is Brunnera, often called the Great Forget-Me-Not. It is prized for its large, heart-shaped leaves and silver patterns. In mid-spring, it produces clusters of tiny, brilliant blue flowers that hover gracefully above the shimmering silver foliage on delicate stems. Notably, Brunnera is highly resistant to deer and rabbits because its leaves have a slightly rough, sandpaper-like texture that wildlife tends to avoid. While the plant is very hardy, its large leaves can be easily torn by hail or heavy wind, so it is best to plant it in a somewhat protected spot. Newer varieties like Sea Heart have been bred with thicker leaves that are even more resistant to the elements and common garden pests. Brunnera's heart-shaped leaves provide a wonderful structural contrast when planted alongside the more rounded or elongated leaves of hostas. They thrive in rich, moist soil and will slowly clump together to form a beautiful, shimmering ground cover over several growing seasons. If you love the look of forget-me-nots but want a more permanent architectural plant, Brunnera is the perfect perennial for your shaded garden. Our 9th plant is Lungwort, or pulmonaria. It is famous for its striking silver-spotted foliage that stays attractive throughout the entire season. The flowers are truly unique, often changing color from pink to blue on the same plant as they age, creating a vibrant, multicolored spring display. Lungwort prefers consistently moist soil and good air circulation. Poor circulation can lead to powdery mildew, especially in late summer. Its name comes from an old belief called the doctrine of signatures, as the spotted leaves were thought to resemble and thus treat diseased lungs. Modern varieties like Trevi Fountain or Raspberry Splash offer even more vibrant flower colors and better disease resistance for the home garden. These plants are among the first to provide nectar for early emerging bees, making them an important part of a pollinator-friendly garden. Their low-growing, clumping habit makes them perfect for the front of a shaded border or as a ground cover beneath tall, deciduous shrubs. For a plant that offers both fascinating history and reliable beauty, Lungwort is a standout addition to any collection of shade perennials. At number 10, we find the foam flower, a close relative of Heuchera that is native to the quiet woodlands of North America. Foam flowers are prized for their deeply lobed leaves, which often feature dark central markings that add extra visual interest to the garden floor. There are two growth habits, clumping and running. The runners make an excellent fast-growing ground cover for larger shaded areas under trees. Their common name comes from the frothy appearance of their tiny flowers, which bloom in late spring and can last for several weeks. No people. As a native plant, Tiarella is exceptionally well adapted to local pests and soil conditions, making it a very low-maintenance choice for gardeners. The foliage is often semi-evergreen, and many varieties take on beautiful bronze or reddish tones as the weather cools in the autumn months. By choosing the right plants and understanding their specific needs, you can create a tranquil sanctuary that grows more beautiful with each passing year. No people. For a natural woodland feel that is both beautiful and resilient, the foam flower is a perfect choice for your shade gardening projects. 11th is Barrenwort, also known as fairy wings. This is a tough-as-nails perennial that can survive even in the most difficult dry shade. In early spring, it produces delicate orchid-like flowers on wiry stems, followed by beautiful heart-shaped leaves that often turn bronze in fall. For the best display, shear the old foliage to the ground in late winter to allow the tiny flowers to be seen before the new leaves emerge. Barrenwort is remarkably drought-tolerant once established, making it the ultimate solution for those tricky areas under large, shallow-rooted trees. The leaves are often tinged with red or bronze when they first emerge, adding an extra layer of color to the early spring garden landscape. Varieties like Sulphureum offer soft yellow blooms, while others like Rubrum provide vibrant red and pink flowers for a more dramatic look. They are virtually pest and disease-free, and their slow-spreading habit means they will eventually form a dense, weed-proof carpet of green. No people. For those problem spots where nothing else seems to grow, Barrenwort is the reliable champion that every shade gardener should consider. Finally, we have the Hydrangea, specifically the big leaf varieties. While technically a shrub, many dwarf types function perfectly as shade perennials. These plants offer massive mophead blooms that can actually change color based on the soil's acidity, turning blue in acidic soil and pink in alkaline soil. Shade is absolutely essential to prevent these plants from wilting during the heat of the day, and they require rich, moist soil to truly thrive. You can use aluminum sulfate to encourage blue flowers or garden lime for pink, giving you a unique level of control over your garden's color palette. Their large, lush leaves provide a fantastic backdrop for smaller perennials, and the massive blooms are a highlight of the midsummer shade garden. In addition to mopheads, the lacecap varieties offer a more delicate, natural look that is perfect for a less formal woodland setting. The flowers also dry beautifully, allowing you to enjoy the beauty of your shade garden indoors throughout the autumn and winter months. Hydrangeas bring a sense of abundance and luxury to the shade, making them the perfect grand finale for our list of shade-loving perennials. Gardening in the shade is not a limitation. It is a wonderful opportunity to work with some of the most elegant and resilient plants in nature. By choosing the right plants and understanding their specific needs, you can create a tranquil sanctuary that grows more beautiful with each passing year. No people. We hope this guide inspires you to see your shaded spaces in a new light and to start your own journey with these 12 shade-loving champions. Remember, a healthy garden is a patient garden. These perennials will reward your care with years of color, texture, and peaceful beauty. Thank you for joining us for this comprehensive guide. We wish you great success in all your gardening and agricultural endeavors. May your garden thrive and bring you peace in every season. Happy gardening.